Assalamu alaikum everyone, my name is Tesneem and I'm currently serving as the Director for Curriculum Development for Yaqeen. And if you tuned into our webinar last week, we launched what we're calling Conviction Circles. And we're partnering with MSA National and really anyone who is willing to grab a group of friends, grab a teacher if you can, whatever the case is, and start your own discussion group. Back when I was in college, back when I was in high school, it was so hard to find content material to be able to have our own, circles, our own discussion groups. So, for example, when a group of friends and I wanted to have our own little halaqah, have our own discussion group, we found it very hard to find a book that we really enjoyed, that we wanted to go through and read. And besides finding a book that we wanted that was directly relevant to us, we didn't really know exactly, okay, so what should we be looking for in this book? What should we be really discussing? What do we want to gain? And so a lot of times, whether, you have a chaplain available, you have an imam or someone there to help support you in learning and engaging and fostering critical thinking and self-development, that's fantastic. And a lot of times we don't have that. And so what we want to do by launching these conviction circles is provide material on, number one, relevant topics. So we're using our Yaqeen publications and we're creating discussion questions, reflection points, connection questions, all of the stuff in order for you to really engage more with the text and at a much deeper level to, again, foster those critical thinking skills and self-development. And of course, we want to encourage everyone to, if you can have a chaplain tag along, if you have an imam, a youth director, anyone else to be there to help lead the discussion, that's preferable. But we're doing all that we can to be able to provide the material and also the support, educational support, the facilitation support to make this happen, whether you have a teacher or not. So today I want to go ahead and show you a little inside scoop of what the content packets will look like. As you can see on my screen here, I'll zoom out so you can see the full material. This is our cover page for the content packets. And basically we have a couple things that you want to keep in mind when you get started off. Number one, my favorite aspect is the reading time. We're all busy people, we're in college, we're in school, we're at work, whatever the case is. But by providing a reading time, you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. You know exactly how much time to really set aside to be able to go through the material beforehand. Now, when you guys are meeting up for these conviction circles, we really want to encourage you guys to be reading the text entirely. It's not just about skimming through. It's not just about, having a friend catch you up on what was to be read. But we want you to be able to create this connection, start this habit of reading this material, and then being able to discuss it further in person. And then you have a key. So I'll be going over some of the key pointers throughout the text, but these will tell you really what you can expect when you see the margins, right? So I'll go ahead and show you the next slide to give you a better look. So on the first page or two of each content packet, you'll be provided with an overview and an executive summary. Again, we want you to be able to read the publication in full, but in the event that you read the publication about a week before the discussion, or you need something to jog your memory, refresh your memory on what you read, this is where the overview and executive summary come into play. And then on the first page of the margins, you'll be provided with all of the supplementary material that was created for the publication. So if there was an infographic, there was charts, graphics, whatever it is that was made for the publication, you can find it here, and then there's a link readily available. Audiobooks. Again, we're all busy, on the go all the time. If you're commuting to work, to school, you're at the gym, whatever the case is, you can plug in your headphones and listen to the audio version of the publication. And that way, if you don't have time to physically sit down and read, you still have the option to listen in. And then behind the scenes videos gives you really an inside look of why the author even decided to write this publication, just a more intimate connection to the actual text. Then on the following pages, so on usually what is going to be the second page of the content packet, you're going to have a large number, about 3 to 5, questions. And this is at the very beginning of the text. Now, these discussion and reflection questions are going to be the main ones, right? These are comprehensive. They're getting at everything that we really want you to be walking away with. And these are sort of the questions that, if we could, make it mandatory, right? So we really want to encourage you guys to, at least if you don't go through any of the other questions throughout the text, if you decide to make it very personal and cater all of the rest of the discussion to your group, that's fantastic. At the very least, we want to highly encourage you guys to get through these main first discussion and reflection questions. And then the rest of the questions that come throughout the text are quote unquote optional. They really engage with a more, more specifics of the text. So that's up to you and to your group. If that's something that you want to engage in, that's there for you. They're guiding questions. We think they're helpful. So we want to encourage you guys, again, to go through those. And then we also have things like connection questions. Now, these are questions that I think are really important because they're directly asking you, how does this relate to you? How does this relate to your community? So we want you guys to be making those connections, to be thinking, beyond the text. This is not just about reading and learning and, self-development only, but it's also, okay, so now how does this play out in my own community and what can I do about it to make it better? And then we have also key facts, terminology, concepts, really all this background information that you might not be familiar with, or you may be familiar with, but just information that's not included in the text that we think might help you make bigger picture connections. So just if there's, very technical terminology, very, specific, whatever it is, we're going to be providing those definitions in the margins to make sure everyone is on the same page. And just a couple more things. We also have a planning section. So, okay, this text encourages you to be more mindful or to, in this case, counteract the bombardment of disturbing media reports to help you think clearer. So plan, do something directly in your life that can make a difference. And then we also, throughout the text, for example, on this page, we're talking about gender roles and sexuality. This is a very interesting topic to you. Great. We also have more Yaqeen publications that deal with these similar topics. And so we'll reference those Yaqeen publications. And inshallah, as Yaqeen grows, those margins will get thicker and thicker. And then finally, on the last page, we have suggestive sources. These are readings external to the Yaqeen database. So if you're really interested in this publication, you really liked what the author had to say, well, here's even more that you can read about it, more you can learn. And last but not least, we have the last pages for notes. We want to encourage you guys to be taking notes in a book, in a journal, throughout the margins, but in the event that you need even more space, that last page is there for you. And so finally, to wrap up, I want to, of course, encourage you guys all to sign up for Conviction Circles online. But also, I want you to remember that this is going to be a very interactive process. We're actually launching an online portal that is going to provide live sessions, live Q&As, and we're going to really address all of those big questions that you might have. So if you're leading a conviction circle or you're participating in a circle that doesn't necessarily have a teacher or someone qualified to answer some of those tough questions, don't worry, we're going to be doing that for you guys, inshallah. So we want you guys to be submitting your feedback, to be submitting your questions, all of that, and we want to be constantly improving and expanding our online portal where we're addressing those, tough questions. We're, giving you guys tips and advice on how to facilitate discussions, all of that fun stuff. This is really exciting stuff, and I'm really, really looking forward to sharing this all with you guys and having your participation and having your feedback. So stay tuned, sign up, and inshallah, we will all benefit. Jazakumullah khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.